Well, Mike, I'm joined by a council member, Manwa Hosea. Manwa, just your quick comments about the launch of this Efficiency and Ethics Task Force. What do you think about it?
First, I want to appreciate my fellow colleagues in council for perhaps coming up with this project that will actually lead to ensuring that our members and the general public actually get the services that they deserve, improve efficiency in the judiciary and ethical conduct of our members within the registries. As a council member, I'm very proud that this project and the task force will ensure that most of the problems you've had over time in the registries and the judiciary generally in delivery of services to the members is actually it comes to an end, and of course the concerns in terms of efficiency are actually handled.
So previously, these cases have been there probably since post-independence, if not pre-independence. And were there any parameters in dealing with it? And how were they being dealt with? Was it a speedy process if you compare with what probably the task force is going to do?
I think since independence we have had changes in terms of the laws. Remember when we promulgated the new constitution in 2010, there were new changes in terms of structures, in terms of efficiency, but there was no goodwill in terms of ensuring that actually these proposals that were in the law are implemented. And of course the judiciary has its own systems in terms of ensuring that there's efficiency and ethics in the processes, but we have never had a translation in terms of service delivery to the members of the law society and at large the members of the public, because the members of the law society represent the interests and the views of the public. And so over time there's been quite a transition both in the law, but now we are trying to transition the conduct and the behavior of the officers we put in office for purpose of ensuring that there is efficiency, and it's also seen in terms of expediting the matters that are in court, the matters that are in our registries, especially the land registry, which has had numerous problems in terms of efficiency, and of course which lead to backlog of cases, lead to backlog of incomplete transactions and so forth. And so it's a good initiative, and I think as the Council of the Law Society of Kenya and the legal profession at large, we owe it to ourselves to ensure that we put to task these individuals who are coming, who hold public office, to ensure that they are able to improve the efficiency and the ethical processes in terms of meeting that requirement for justice. Yeah.
When it comes to breaching the ethics especially among the judicial staff, I don't know how to put it in a very diplomatic and professional way. When you look at the demographics, is it the ones who've been there for longer or the young ones, or it's just a perception issue, it's a culture issue that even the ones who are coming in, joining in fresh from college, fresh from campus, they just adapt the same process and they just become colloquial as the older ones?
I think it's a cultural issue because we have institutionalized some of these practices, but the problem is the people in those offices do not effect those proper changes in ensuring that actually service is delivered. And of course we can blame it on lack of change of tact, especially on the part of the judiciary, because we have had people transferred over and over again, but you're transferring inefficiency from one station to another. And so we need to ensure that whatever that they have been given to do in terms of delivery, they are able to deliver within that framework, and that is why we want the task force to ensure that at least this is effected. Remember, Kenyans and the members of the public and the legal profession at large have made several complaints with regard to essentially the conduct of certain officers. There is a quote in the judiciary called facilitation. I'm sure you've heard of that. It's a big concern because nothing can move if you do not facilitate. And of course, we don't blame the judiciary alone. But if you look at the National Police Service, if you look at other government entities, there is that aspect of facilitation. We want to ensure that that aspect or that corruption segment within the minds of the people serving the public is actually removed, and so that we can actually have justice delivered within the shortest time possible and with the required efficiency.
We have the Kadhi's court, and I'm asking is this with due respect and a lot of humility, not to seem that we're judging our brothers from who practice Islam. Is this also the case, or it doesn't matter?
Well, those courts are within the structures of the judiciary, and therefore they form part and parcel of the justice system. I think those concerns cut across all manner of courts, be it land courts, labor courts, be it family courts, be it criminal courts, be it Kadhi's courts. I think the problems cut across, and that is why we want to have a structure that can monitor as to who's delaying that efficiency and how we can kill that demon of delay in terms of expediting the matters. Remember, at the level of a judge seated in a court, there is a lot that happens behind them. There is the filing process, there is the documentation process, there is preparation of court documents, and there is a lot that happens before a file gets to court. We want to go deep into the people who process those files before they get to court. How efficient are they? How do they, whether they follow the law? Because I know the judiciary has invested largely on the filing processes. I know we have transitioned from the paper court processes in terms of hearing matters to virtual processes. We have transitioned from physical filing documents to e-filing documents, and so these changes have been effected to ensure that there is efficiency, there is an ethical process that is followed to ensure that every other step is expedited to ensure that you get justice. But if we have these structures in place and yet we still have the same concerns we had 5-7 years ago, then I think the problem is the institution and the people there, and not the law. Yeah.
Well, I understand this is a brainchild of LSK under the stewardship of Faith Adhiambo. Do you think this probably would have come 10 years or 20 years earlier?
I think it should have come early, because we are the biggest consumers of justice in Kenya. We are actually officers of court. Our members are now approaching 24,000, benefit and make a living out of the court processes largely. And so whereas I would have expected it to have come early, I think Faith, my president, with whom I sit in council, has done extremely well in ensuring that we have this task force to ensure that those concerns that we have been raising with the judiciary are implemented. Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And as the entry